Hey there. Not gonna say what's up because I said what's up last time and literally not one person said what was up, so we're not gonna do that anymore. But the response on that video and the amount of comments was awesome, and it was super cool to see how many of you responded and interacted in the comments. So I figured with it getting cold out and I'm not too sure how much I'm gonna get to ride, being that you have to drive an hour just to ride inside around here. So I figured with the cold coming, we can make some videos talking about different things, and maybe I'd put one out every Friday, and that would give us a way to interact and occupy ourselves now that it's too cold outside to ride, unless you live somewhere where it's nice enough to ride, and in that case, lucky you. But I don't, so we're going to talk about things. And in this video, the first thing that we're going to talk about is favorite things and spots and obstacles of the different aspects of BMX to ride. So that means in the comments, tell me what you love to ride the most. Your favorite things to ride, whether it be park, street, trails, specific things though. If you're going to say that your favorite thing to ride is the skate park, what in the skate park is your favorite thing to ride? And the same goes with everything else. And for me, I'm going to start at the bottom and work my way to the top because there's a couple things that I can't really say too much about, so we're going to start there. The first thing that we're going to talk about is vert, and the fact that I'm too scared to ride vert. To be completely honest, I've never dropped in on a vert quarter pipe. Too scared to do it. I'll try and air out a vert quarter pipe, but I'm not going to start on top and drop in just because, no. I've been on top of them before, and it's just not something that I want to do, so I don't. But I like to try and start undercoping and maybe try and air out, but that's about as far as that goes. Then I guess we could talk about flatland, because really for me, I like to try to ride flatland, but I'm not good at it or anything. So it really doesn't matter that much where or what I ride when it comes to that. Pretty much just whenever I'm feeling like it, I'll do it. And if I had to pick something, I guess I'd say my driveway. But on a side note, the other day at Ray's, I did land my first flat ground decade that I've done in, like, honestly 3 or 4 years probably. So that was pretty cool. And I did it in the street room at Ray's where the ground is like super bumpy. So I'll probably have a video on that because I filmed a bunch of it and it took a while to get. But next from there, we'll move on to trails, I guess, because for trails, I mean, aside from like huge, giant, scary dirt jumps, pretty much just like riding any type of trails. They're super fun. It really doesn't matter that much. I'm not too picky about them, and I'm not super specific about things. I guess I will say I like the style of the jumps that we have at Apple Creek. People have said they're old school. Not really sure what that means exactly, but I enjoy them. I do like the ones that you can pull back and go super high on, but I also like the ones that you just skip over. And I like rollers. Rollers are fun. Huge rollers. Okay, if I have to pick something in the trails, I pick a giant roller that like takes your stomach up, like a huge bump when you go over it in your car, or like a roller coaster or something. Rollers that do that. That would be what I would pick in the trails, just because that is the coolest thing ever, and it's super fun. So from there, we'll move on to street, and in the streets, I'd say number one would be a good bank to sub, whether it be bank to guardrail, sub rail, like normal handrail type rail, or wedge to ledge, concrete bank to sub type thing. Any type of bank to sub, I love riding those. And it's always super fun to go to a new bank to rail and foof it double peg it, ice it, abubica it, just do all that stuff. It's always super fun, and it's always super fun to find new ones and do different tricks that you couldn't do on the other ones. Just bank to rails are my favorite. Oh. But if I had to pick a second favorite, I would pick a tree ride. Tree ride would be number one if there was more of them, or if I had a really good one to ride, just because the first time that I ever did ride one, I pedaled at it as hard as I could almost, and it was just, there's something about going at this big of a pathway on a tree and airing it out and coming back down that's like, it's just awesome. But I've only ever ridden a couple good ones, and they're hard to come by, and if you do find one, there's usually something wrong with it that makes it like not possible to ride. So I picked bank to subs as number one, just because pretty much anybody could go and ride their city and find a bank to sub. And then when it comes to the skate park, I bet you can't guess it. What are you going to say, quarter pipe? You'd be right. I like riding quarter pipes and spines and all that stuff, just doing lip trick type things. But I also like doing box jump tricks and jumping box jumps, like the one at Canal Fulton. That's like the best trick box jump ever. Sorry, one take. That's all we're doing. But yeah, anyways, so when it comes to the skate park, spines and quarter pipes, if I had to pick between the two, I guess I would pick a spine, just because you can ride a street spine like a quarter pipe most of the time. It's just a little scary. Either way, honestly, but when it comes to those things, Canal Fulton is like the best, because they have a 4-foot double coping street spine, and it's like super smooth. The only thing is it could be a little bit wider, but we worked with what we had. And then when it comes to the box jump, it's a 16 feet wide, 4-foot tall box jump. And where else do you have a 16-foot wide box jump? And the lip on it's so perfect. You can do any trick that you want, and it's not scary because you have 16 feet to land on. So I'll talk in another video about favorite like specific spots when it comes to things, like if I have to pick a favorite quarter pipe or something like that. We'll talk about that in another video. But
yeah.
Come on, Brant!
to give it the rundown, we'll go from the top to the bottom again. Skate park, spines. Street, bank to subs. Trails, I guess you'd say rollers. Flatland, my driveway. Vert, I've never really ridden vert super seriously, so we're just going to say I'll try and ride any vert ramp, but no, it's too scary for me. Call me a wuss, whatever, I don't care. Vert is for the real men out there, / women if you're riding a vert ramp. But yeah, so leave in the comments your favorite stuff to ride. And don't just say park, dirt, street, trails. Don't just say one of those, because I hate when people limit themselves to one thing. I like riding everything, and that's why I listed everything in the video. So don't just say you ride park, or you ride street, or you ride trails. BMX is about more than that. And if you're not at least trying to ride everything, you're super limiting yourself, and that's not fun, but that's not the point of this video. Anyways, so leave it in the comments below. If you're new here, subscribe. If you enjoyed it, even if you didn't, just do it. It's free. No reason not to. And we'll catch you in the next video. Leave in the comments too something that you guys want to talk about or want me to talk about, and maybe we'll do it. So hope you enjoyed. Hopefully I don't think of something else after this that I should have talked about, but we got it in one take. That's all we're doing. So we'll see you guys next time, and thanks for watching. Goodbye.